My name is Elena Ward, and I am 35 years old. For 7 months, my family told me we had finally found balance. My older sister Natalie had moved back into the old farmhouse on Red Lantern Road to care for our mother after the stroke. She was the one changing sheets,
Natalie, but the estate
answering
can't
night
wait.
calls, filling
The
pill
terms are clear in the
boxes,
binder.
and handling the bills.
You think this is difficult
Everyone
for you.
said she had
This
sacrificed
binder contains
everything.
the evidence, Father.
I believed them.
I need you to look at me and explain why there are so many
sent
discrepancies.
grocery cards. I sent flowers. I sent thank you texts that now make my stomach turn. Then one Tuesday in November, I drove home without calling ahead. The maple trees had gone bare, the sky was low, and the white farmhouse looked exactly like it had when I was a
understand
child.
that, but the online portal is
except for
still
the
showing
sign
our
hammered
access
into
is
the front
restricted.
lawn.
We need
For
this resolved
sale.
today.
A red rider underneath said, "Cash buyer ready." No one had told me the house was being sold.
Look at you, playing the helpful
Natalie
sister
said the
for
place
once.
was too much for Mom.
I'm simply doing my part,
That she had
Natalie.
already found a fast buyer, and that I should stop making everything difficult from 2 hours away. I said, okay. I said it because I have learned that the
These
first
are all
answer
dated
in
this
a
year,
room
Miriam.
full of liars should be small.
$81,260.
But that night I started
didn't mean
counting
for it to
things the
get
way
this
I
far,
count things
Elena.
for a living.
This loop here doesn't
I
match
am a
the
forensic
exemplars.
bookkeeper.
See
Numbers
the pressure
talk to me
difference?
before people
yes,
do.
that confirms the forgery.
2 weeks later,
This is
I
the
found a
authentic
shoebox
signature,
behind the spare
showing the
quilts in the
post-stroke
hall
tremor.
closet.
These four,
Inside was
conversely, are
76
smooth and
cancelled
clearly
checks.
forged.
Every one of them signed in my mother's name by a hand that was not my mother's. By the time I finished adding them, the total was $812,600.
How can you just stand there stirring that? You need to deal with this now, Elena.
My father
Miriam
told me to
needs
keep it
eat.
quiet.
We can discuss this when you are
She's
calm.
your sister, he said.
can't talk right now.
We handle this
Yeah, I
inside
know,
the
but
family.
She's right there.
What I did next is the
I'll
reason
handle it, just
I
lay low
am
for a bit.
telling you this story. Welcome back to Calm Drama Stories, where quiet women stop explaining themselves and let the truth
As you can
walk
see in the
into
forensic
the room.
report, the transfers occurred just prior
If this
to the
kind
filing.
of family
Yes, the
betrayal
timing
has
is
ever
quite
lived
telling.
anywhere near your
We'll
life,
proceed with the injunction.
you are among
It's gonna
friends
be
here.
okay, Mom.
Tell
We've
me
gone
where you
over
are
this.
listening
Everything
from
is in
and
order for
subscribe
tomorrow.
so the next story finds
Just focus on resting now.
Before I tell
Would you
you
like
about
some
the
coffee,
checks,
Elena?
No,
you
thank
need
you,
to know
Natalie.
my mother the way
We
she
should
was
review the
before people
settlement
started
statement.
speaking over her. Miriam
all
Ward
right
could
here.
make a house feel awake. She knew which porch board creaked in winter, which drawer
Wait.
stuck in August,
Before we
and how long
proceed,
to
I
leave
need to
green
clarify
beans on the
something in the
stove before they
documents.
crossed from tender to ruined. The farmhouse on Red Lantern Road had belonged to her parents. First, my grandfather built the back porch with his own hands in 1964. My grandmother planted the lilacs by the fence, and every
We just want to
spring my
make
mother
sure
cut
you're
them for the
comfortable,
kitchen
Mrs.
table.
Ward.
The property used to be a working
Elena has
farm.
been very cooperative.
240 acres of pasture.
These are the comparison
hay
pages for
ground,
the signatures in
and
question.
a creek
That's
that
not her
split
signature.
The back field.
That can't be right.
When my father got older and the equipment became too much, my parents sold most of the acreage to a neighboring dairy family and kept it. The house, the barn, and 3 acres around it. The sale left my mother with the kind of money our family had never been good at, naming out loud. A little over $850,000 after taxes and fees.
Based on
She
these
still
documents,
clipped
the
coupons.
trust is fully established.
She still drove a
The
15-year-old
forensic review
sedan.
confirms the protection
She still
measures
wrote every
are completely
grocery
in
total
place.
in a blue spiral notebook. I became a bookkeeper because of her. Sunday nights, after dinner, she would sit at the kitchen
Everything is
table with a mug
accounted
of
for,
peppermint
Miriam.
tea,
It's
a
balanced.
check register, and the
We
patience
can
of a
manage this
judge.
together.
Money does not disappear, she used to tell me. People just stop asking where it went. She made it sound like a proverb. I didn't know it was going to become evidence. Natalie was 4 years older than me. She was the daughter who filled rooms. Beautiful, loud, emotional, always either adored or injured. I was the daughter who alphabetized the medicine cabinet and read warranty papers. In families like ours,
These documents
those
confirm what I
differences
suspected
become
about the
assignments.
inheritance. Elena, this really isn't
Natalie
the time.
became
It is
the one
exactly the
everyone
time. We need to
protected
discuss
from
the farm's
consequences.
finances. Dad, we
I
need to talk
became
about the
one
house.
everyone called
I know
when
you don't want to look at
consequences
this right now,
arrived.
but the longer we wait, the harder it
The
gets.
summer before the stroke, Mom and I sat on the porch, snapping peas into a metal bowl. She looked across the yard toward the lilacs and said,
I appreciate your help, but escalating
Elena,
this is essential.
this house
the
stays
funds were
with someone
guaranteed
who loves
yesterday.
it.
Can I speak to a
Promise
supervisor,
me
please?
that? I
All
laughed
of Mother's
because she was
accounting is
71
secured. We have
and
the
still
signed power of
corrected my
attorney and the
posture when I
return
chopped
receipt.
onions.
Are you satisfied now,
I
Elena?
told her she would
you have
outlive
control
all
over
of us.
everything.
She didn't laugh. She just touched my wrist and repeated it. Promise me. I promised. Easily. Foolishly. The way people make promises before they understand the bill. The stroke came in March during a cold rain. My father found her on the laundry room floor with one basket tipped over
The total
and
comes
towels
to
scattered around her like surrender flags. The
812,600.
doctors called it moderate.
Can you explain this, Mother?
That word sounds almost
These
kind
signatures on the
until you watch your
Q3
mother try to
disbursements
lift a
appear
spoon and
inconsistent with the
fail.
authorized signatories. I agree.
Her
the
right
amounts are
side
significant.
weakened.
We need to trace these
Her
further.
speech
The
slowed
tremor
and
is
broke
absent
apart
in these
in the
later
middle of
documents.
ordinary
It's a
words.
professional forgery, expertly
her
done,
eyes
but clearly
stayed.
not your mother's hand.
Clear.
So there is no doubt.
That mattered later. Her mind was not gone. It was trapped behind a body that had stopped cooperating. I wanted to move home. I made the spreadsheet.
I can't believe you're just standing there making
course I
oatmeal
did.
while everything falls
My
apart. How
practice
can
was
you
in
be so
Bruckner,
calm?
2 hours
Natalie,
north.
please, we
And I had
discussed
12
this.
business
The children
clients
need
who
to eat.
depended on me every month.
Just stay calm.
If I closed
I told
the
her it was a late
office,
delivery. She doesn't
I would
suspect
lose the
anything
thing I
about
had
the
spent
truck.
8 years building.
I'll call you back when I'm clear.
If I stayed away, I would be the daughter who left her mother to strangers. I sat with that math for 2 nights and
Does this
found no
attachment
clean
cover
answer.
the Delaware holdings?
Yes, as
Natalie
detailed in
gave
the
me
forensic
one.
report on page 3.
She called
the funds
before
were
I had
clearly
finished the
diverted there
third
before
version
the
of the
freeze.
spreadsheet.
You don't have to worry about the paperwork.
Don't you dare shut
I've
your
handled
business,
everything for the morning.
she said. I
Just
can
focus
stay with
on
Mom.
resting now.
Derek's between jobs anyway. We can make it work. You come down on weekends and I'll handle the daily stuff. I cried from relief. I remember that clearly because later
Before we
people would
proceed,
ask
I'd
how
like
I
to
didn't
ask
see
everyone
it.
to wait.
I didn't see it because gratitude is a bright light.
Miss
And
Ward,
bright lights can
I'm
blind
Detective
you.
Brooks. We're here with
My
Adult
sister,
Protective Services
who had
and Miss
drifted
Cole,
for
the forensic
years from
accountant,
one job
regarding
and
these
one
financial
emergency
documents.
to another, was finally becoming the reliable one. My father was exhausted. My
We're
mother
here
needed
to ensure
care.
your safety and comfort, Mrs.
I
Ward.
wanted to believe
Elena
in the
is very
version of
kind,
Natalie
but
who
sometimes
stepped forward.
I worry. We understand.
In April, the family
As you
gathered
can
around
see,
the kitchen
the
table
signature
to
on
sign
these
the
76
paperwork.
checks does not
The
match
same
the
table
exemplars
where Mom
provided.
balanced her checkbook. A notary came out from the bank. The documents were practical. Everyone said, a durable power of attorney so Natalie could pay medical bills. Joint access to Mom's checking account so she wouldn't have to drive to the branch. Permission to speak
The trust
with
documents
insurance
clearly
companies,
outline the asset allocation for
pharmacies,
Cedar Hollow, matching the
and
reports here.
utilities.
The forensic review confirmed.
I read the papers, but not the way I read a suspicious ledger. I read them like a daughter who wanted the problem solved.
This is a
There was a
professional
line
space
about
now.
fiduciary duty.
I understand the history
There was a line
here,
about
but we
keeping
must keep
records.
things strictly by
there
the
was
book
no
from now
authority
on.
for self-gifting.
See, Miriam,
No authority to
it all
sell the
balances
homestead
out.
without Miriam
We're gonna be
Ward's
okay.
own consent. But I did not slow down long enough to feel the weight of those words. I signed the family acknowledgement because not signing would have meant I did not trust my sister. And what kind of woman refuses to trust her sister with their mother? That was the door. I helped open it. Every Sunday evening, I called Mom. Natalie would prop the phone on a pillow and Mom would sit on the couch with a knitted blanket over her knees. Her good hand wrapped around the edge of the phone as if holding it kept the world from sliding away. I would ask about therapy, the garden, the neighbor's dog, the weather.
I understand this is difficult, Natalie, but
would
we need
answer
to
most of
finalize
it.
the accounts.
Too much of
Difficult.
it, if I'm honest.
You think this is just difficult
But
for
at
me?
first I told myself she was just tired.
This binder contains the settlement offer.
June,
You need to
I
look at it
asked,
before Wednesday.
Are the bills going okay? Are the statements still coming? Mom's face changed. It was only a second, a flicker behind the eyes. But I saw it. She opened her mouth, then stopped. Natalie leaned into the frame with a mug in her hand.
Yes, I have the
Everything's
reference number
handled.
right here. Look,
Elena,
I understand the policy,
please
but
don't
these are
start
client
hovering.
funds. I need to know exactly
I
why the
almost
clearance is
laughed
being held up.
because hovering from
The
2
power of
hours away
attorney
is a difficult thing to
officially
do.
filed.
Natalie left the room to answer the kettle,
Mom is fine.
and Mom leaned close to the phone. Her voice came out slow and rough. I don't see the bank papers anymore. Which papers, Mom? The statements. They used to come. She looked toward the kitchen. Now
I've
they
sorted
don't.
them by date. That brings the
Then
total
Natalie
to
came back, and Mom's face closed down.
$812,600 exactly.
A stroke can steal words.
Look at
but
the
fear can steal
inconsistency
them
in the S
faster.
here.
The conversation
We cross-referenced that with the Q3
sideways
reports.
into
The
physical
figures don't
therapy
reconcile.
and the church rummage
As you can
sale.
see here, the pressure and
I hung
flow
up
of
and
these
sat alone in
signatures
my
are
office
smooth,
with the phone still in my
inconsistent with the
hand.
documented tremor in
A
Mrs. Ward's
reasonable
hand.
explanation came immediately. Paperless billing, online banking, Natalie keeping things tidy. A
You
tired
can't just waltz back in
caregiver
here and
trying
pretend
not
like
to be
nothing happened, Elena.
second-guessed
The
by the
farm is
sister who lived
struggling.
far
I am
enough
aware
away
of the
to offer
situation,
advice
Natalie.
instead of
Starving
labor.
yourself won't help Miriam.
I am a
I
reasonable
told you
person
the truck is fine.
and
Just
reasonable.
keep her calm, okay?
People are
I
very
can't do
good at
this right
building
now. She's
bridges
watching
over
me.
warning signs. Still, I wrote one note in the back of my client ledger. Ask about bank statements.
Here are the finalized reports
The next
and the
morning,
supporting
I
documentation
called
you
the bank.
requested.
Thank you,
I
Vivian.
identified myself,
The annotations appear
explained my
thorough.
concern,
I've
and
got
asked
you.
whether
We'll
they
get
could
through this
confirm
together, just
statements
like we
were still
planned.
being mailed to my mother.
It's just
The
the
woman
next
on the
step.
line was polite and immovable.
Do we really have to do this right now?
Was I the account
It's already
owner?
been postponed twice,
No.
Natalie.
Was I
The
the
agent is ready.
authorized agent under the power of attorney? No. Was I
Excuse
listed
me,
as a joint
but I must
owner?
ask that we wait
No.
before signing anything.
Then she could not tell me anything.
Miss Ward,
That is the trap families miss.
I'm Detective Brooks.
the
This is
paper
Miss
we
Cole and
signed
Miss
to
Shaw.
protect my mother
May we
was the
come in
paper
for a
that made
moment?
me a stranger.
All right, if
I had
everyone
enough
could just
concern
sign right
to
here,
lose
we can
sleep, but not
finalize the
enough
transfer.
authority to see one page. I hung up and told myself I'd done
We
what I
just want to
could.
make sure you're comfortable and
I
safe here,
hadn't.
Miriam. It is.
I had
it is
only learned
difficult,
how
but
well the lock
Elena
worked.
takes good care of me.
By July,
We analyzed all
Derek
76
Bell's truck was in the
checks.
driveway.
The signatures here are
Not the old
inconsistent
work
with the
truck
known
I remembered
examples we
with
have
rust on the
file.
wheel wells and a tailgate that had to be tied shut with rope. This was a new diesel pickup. Black paint, chrome grille, paper dealer tags still in the window. A $52,000 kind of new. Derek called me Ellie, even though I had corrected him for a decade. He slapped the hood and told me he had picked up a few contracting jobs. I smiled
As you can
because I
see
had
in
not yet
Section
learned to
4 of the
stop being
Cedar
polite
Hollow
to
Trust,
suspicious
the
people.
assets are fully protected. This
Inside,
structure minimizes the
The
liabilities
house looked
effectively.
tired. Dishes sat in the sink. The garden had gone ragged. Mom's hair needed washing. Natalie moved through it all with a brittle energy, narrating how hard everything was. You have no idea, she told me. Nobody has
It
any idea
balances
what
now,
this
Miriam.
costs.
Everything is accounted for.
Oh,
I believed that
Elena.
caregiving costs
Thank
something. I still do.
It should
But I
do
also
well right
knew a
here by
man
the
with no
fence.
active
lovely,
crew
Elena.
had bought a truck that smelled like showroom leather. I did not know what to do with that fact. So I stored it. Bookkeepers store what does not yet reconcile. In September, Natalie sent a text to the family thread. Mum's old phone number was still in the group, though she rarely typed anymore. Natalie wrote, thinking the farmhouse may be too much for Mum long term. Need to start looking at options. Options. A soft word. A dangerous word. I replied, we should talk about it
The
together.
paperwork is in order.
Mom
we need to
always said she
finalize
wanted
the
the house
transferamento of
kept.
the property by Tuesday.
No one answered.
Right. Always
My
business
father
with you,
sent
Elena.
a thumbs up to Natalie's original
I understand
message.
this is difficult, Dad,
Derek
but we have
sent
to
a
address
house
the nursing
emoji.
home application.
Natalie sent
I've
nothing.
highlighted the relevant sections here in the binder.
2 weeks later, I drove home without calling. The for sale sign was already in the yard. Natalie was in the kitchen when I walked in. I was going to tell you, she said without turning around. It's listed. There is a buyer's name on the sign.
Yes, I have the reference number right
a
here.
cash buyer.
The issue is
she
the hold
said,
on the corporate
like that
accounts.
made it cleaner.
We filed the paperwork
No
weeks ago.
inspections to drag out. No
The signed
months of
return receipt for the
uncertainty.
power of attorney.
Assisted living is expensive.
I'm filing
Eleanor,
this in the mom
I
accounting
am
folder.
trying to be responsible.
I got everything on the list, Natalie.
Down the hallway.
Do you expect a medal for
Mom
doing
sat
the bare
by the window
minimum?
in her blue cardigan.
Mother
She was
needs
listening.
quiet.
I walked to her and knelt. Mom, do you want to sell the house? Her mouth struggled. but the answer came clear enough for the walls to hear.
The total comes to
Natalie spoke
$812,600.
over it. She
How
gets
long has this been
confused,
going on? Note the tremor
But I
here
heard what I
and
needed
here.
to hear.
The
My
variance
mother had
exceeds
said
the
no in the
acceptable
house she
threshold
owned,
according to these reports.
and my sister had explained why
If you
that
look
no
closely
did not
here,
count.
the inconsistencies in the pen
I
lift
went
and
to
the
my father
unnatural
next
speed
because some
confirm
childish
these
part
are
of me
forgeries.
still believed a father was a place you could take the truth and put it down safely. Thomas Ward was in the garage sorting screws into baby food jars.
You can't just
the same way
ignore
he had
this,
done my
Elena.
whole
That
life.
binder changes
Busy work,
everything. I am not
quiet
ignoring
work.
it. I am
Work designed
prioritizing
to
what
keep a
matters
man
right
from
now.
looking at anyone directly.
Look, I told you, she doesn't suspect a
Dad,
thing. Just stick to the
Natalie
plan and we'll
listed
be
the
fine.
house. Mom says she doesn't want to sell. He didn't look up. Your sister handles all that now? The power of attorney does not make Mom
Here are
disappear.
the finalized reports, Miles. Pay close
set the
attention to
jar
this
down.
annotation regarding the asset transfer.
He looked
Thank you,
older under
Vivian.
the garage
I'll review
light,
this now before I
smaller
file
than he
the
had
list
any right to
pendants.
look.
It's gonna be okay, Mom.
Your sister is here every day.
We've talked about this.
She changes
The
your
closing
mother.
is just a formality.
She lifts her. She misses
We
sleep.
have the final paperwork ready for
You
your
send
signatures,
cards
Mr. and
and
Mrs.
come
Ward.
down when your calendar
We've
lets
reviewed
you.
the documents, thank you.
Don't come here making trouble over things she understands better because she's the one carrying them.
Please, if
That
everyone
sentence
could
worked
just
on
wait a
me
moment
because there
before
was
we sign.
truth inside it. I had not been there every night. Natalie had. That truth was the wrapping around the lie. I drove back north
It's
with the
okay,
radio
Miriam.
off
We just
and a
want to make
feeling
sure
in my
you're safe
chest
and
that was not
comfortable
anger
here.
yet.
You don't have to worry.
It was more precise.
Thank you.
The feeling I get when a
As you can see, the
client's
signatures on
books
these
tie out,
76 checks are
but the
inconsistent
story
with
behind
the
the numbers
exemplar.
smells
I
wrong.
don't understand.
This
This is
time,
completely unacceptable.
I did not call the bank. I called a lawyer I had done bookkeeping for, a patient man named Miles Grant, who handled elder estates and guardianships. I did not ask him what I should feel. I asked him what an interested family member can require from an agent under a power of attorney. An accounting, he said. Plain and simple.
As
If she is
Vivian's
acting for your
analysis
mother,
shows,
she has to
the
keep
Cedar
records.
Hollow Trust is now
Power of
structured
attorney
for
is not a
long-term
crown.
stability and
Elena,
protection.
it is a job. The job has duties. That sentence became a nail in the wall. I hung everything on it. Miles helped me draft a clean letter requesting a full accounting from Natalie Ward for every transaction made on Miriam Ward's behalf.
The deposit
Since the
posted
power of
today,
attorney took effect,
it balances perfectly.
bank statements,
Oh, that is
checks,
a relief.
receipts, transfers, reimbursements, and supporting documents. I sent it certified mail with return receipt requested. I kept a copy in a folder labeled Mom, Accounting. The green card came back with Natalie's signature on it, her real signature, looping and confident. Her text arrived that night. Why are you treating me like a criminal when I am the only one here doing the work? I typed 6 answers and sent none.
We need to
A
finalize
guilty
the arrangements
person
for the
needs
house,
the
Natalie.
room filled with your
Always
reaction.
So formal.
Silence
just
gives
stay
them
for tea
room to make
first?
mistakes.
We can't
The
keep
accounting
ignoring
never
this, Dad.
came. Excuses
I brought
came.
the paperwork regarding the
The
settlement.
accountant was on vacation. The bank portal was down. Mom had a therapy setback. Derek had the flu. Natalie was overwhelmed. Every excuse bought time, and time was the one thing they needed. So I changed strategy. I called Natalie and apologized. I told her I'd been unfair.
Yes, I have the reference
I told her
number right
guilt
here.
had made me suspicious.
The issue is on your end, not
and
ours.
I wanted to come down for 2 weeks to help
I
before
filed
any
the
move
return
happened.
receipt along with the power of attorney.
I praised her enough that she
All
softened.
of Mom's accounting will be managed
People
here,
believe
Natalie.
the apology that flatters their favorite version of themselves. About time, she said. Maybe you'll finally see what I deal with. I packed a suitcase, moved my client work to remote mornings, and drove back to Red Lantern Road as the helpful sister. I cooked. I did. Laundry. I sat with Mom during her speech
Look closely
exercises.
at the S here. It's
I let
inconsistent
Derek
with the
call me
samples we have
Ellie.
on file.
So
I
the funds were
smiled when
diverted
Natalie
before the
corrected the
merger.
way I loaded the dishwasher.
These signatures were clearly
I
traced
watched.
or digitally replicated.
That is one of the things women
As you
like
can see,
Natalie
the
never
tremor is
understand
completely
about
absent
quiet
here.
people. We are not always passive. Sometimes we are recording. The first night,
You think that
I
binder
noticed
gives
the
you control
mailbox
over
key was missing
everything.
from its
It
hook.
gives us a plan, Natalie.
The second night,
Now please,
I
calm
saw
down before you upset
unopened
Miriam.
pharmacy notices tucked under Derek's
Look, I
toolbox.
told you I'd handle it.
The
She
third
doesn't
night,
suspect a thing. Just keep your mouth
Natalie
shut.
took Mum's purse upstairs and brought it back lighter. None of those facts proved anything alone. Facts rarely do. They stack. On the fourth night, I searched for an extra blanket because Mum was cold. The hall closet smelled like cedar and dust.
It's all right,
Quilts
Mom.
folded on the upper
The
shelf.
closing is set for tomorrow,
Behind them,
and I promise you,
my hand touched
everything is going to be
cardboard.
fine.
A shoebox.
The terms are clearly
Heavier
outlined
than
in
it
the
should have
binder,
been.
Natalie.
We understand the terms,
I pulled
Elena.
it down and sat on the hallway
just find the
floor
timing
under the weak
difficult.
lamp. Inside were cancelled checks.
If you don't mind,
The real
I'd like
paper
everyone
checks
to
my
wait a
mother's
moment
small
before
bank
signing.
still returned with monthly statements. Stamped.
Miss Ward, I'm
processed,
Anika Shaw. We're following up on
undeniable.
the Adult Protective Services
Natalie must have
report.
intercepted them
And we have some questions
hidden them
regarding these
instead of
financial
shredding
records,
them.
ma'am.
Maybe she thought no one looked behind spare quilts. Maybe thieves get sentimental about their own evidence. I sorted
We're
them
gonna
by
take
date.
this slowly,
I counted
Miriam.
them once, twice,
Elena
3
and I are
times.
here to support you through this
76.
process.
Some were written to cash.
If you look closely
some
at the
to
comparison
Derek Bell,
pages, the
some
slant
to
and pressure
Bellevue
points indicate a
Renovations,
clear divergence from the known
LLC,
samples.
a company I had never seen on any invoice. The amount started small and became brave. 4,000, 9,000, 21,000. One check for $36,000 with the memo line, home repair. Though the porch rail still wobbled and the roof still leaked over the pantry. Then I looked at the signatures. My
We've
mother's
reviewed the
real
financials, and
post-stroke
Vivian's
signature
analysis
was a broken
confirms the trust is
fence.
secure.
The
Miles,
Miriam Ward
this
on
structure
those
provides the
checks was
protection we
smooth,
discussed.
steady, almost elegant. That was the moment the story changed from suspicion to crime. I did not wake the house. I did not carry the shoebox into the kitchen and demand answers. That would have been the scene they were ready for. Natalie would cry,
Mother,
Derek
the
would
figures
shout,
match
Dad
the
would beg
receipts
for
exactly.
peace,
There's
Mom would
nothing
get
missing.
frightened, the box would
We just need
disappear
to keep
before
better
morning,
records from now on.
and I would be remembered as the daughter who brought chaos into an already difficult home. Instead, I photographed every check, front and back, with the lamp pulled close. I kept my phone flat, my hand steady, each image clear enough to read the routing stamp. I photographed the box on the shelf before I moved it, the checks inside it, the order I found them in, because chain of custody is not only for police dramas, it is the difference between a family argument and a document that can survive a room full of lawyers. By
you really going to
2:47
do this,
in the
Elena?
morning,
Right now?
I had 76 check
wouldn't have
images
come
and a
all this
running
way if it
total of
wasn't urgent, Natalie.
$812,600.
I understand you're busy, but this is
I
urgent.
put the checks back
The
exactly
settlement
as I
requires
found
your
them.
signature by the end of
I
the week.
folded the quilts the same way. Then I sat on the edge of my childhood bed and let myself shake for 1 minute. After that, I opened a spreadsheet. Not because I am cold, because lists are what I build when panic starts chewing at the walls. I created columns.
Yes, I have the
date,
reference number.
Check number.
Look,
payee,
I understand its procedure,
amount,
but this account
memo,
has been frozen for
signature
72
condition,
hours.
Suspected destination. I labeled the file Miriam Ward, review draft. I backed up the photographs to an encrypted drive, then to my cloud storage, then to a flash drive that went into the lining of my suitcase. The next morning, I made eggs. Natalie complained there wasn't enough salt. Derek asked if I slept badly because
They're
I
all
looked
here,
pale.
dated sequentially.
I told him the old mattress
and the
was
total
terrible.
is exactly
My father read the paper without reading it.
$812,600.
My mother
The
watched me
signature
from
on the
across
check,
table with
particularly
her good
the
hand
capital
resting on
A,
the blue mug.
deviates significantly
I
from the
wanted to
exemplars.
say,
The amounts involved
I
are
found it.
substantial.
The
I
differences
wanted
are
to tell
quite
her
clear.
I knew someone
the
had
shaky
used her
line on the
name while her
left is
hand could
genuine.
barely hold a
These on the
book.
right show signs of
But I
tracing
did
and
not
are unnaturally smooth.
know yet how to protect her from the answer.
This is the
So I
cashier's check
smiled.
you deposited.
I kissed the top of her
It's
head
for
before I left for a
$20,000.
fake errand.
Put the binder down,
In the
Elena.
parking lot
You
of a
knew about
closed
Derek's debts,
antique
didn't
store
you?
10 miles
This
away.
is hardly the time for this, Natalie. I'm
I
making
called
breakfast.
Vivian Cole.
I can't
Vivian
talk
was a
right now.
certified
She's
fraud
listening.
examiner 2
I'll call you back as
counties
soon as I can get
over.
away. Don't do anything until
Recommended
then.
by Miles Grant. I told her I had photographs of checks. a vulnerable adult, a POA, a pending home sale, and a caregiver who would not provide an accounting. Vivian said, "Do not confront anyone.
It's gonna be okay, Mom.
Bring me
We've
the
gone
paper."
over everything. I know, sweetheart.
Vivian Cole's office was
It's
above an
just hard to
insurance
leave this
agency
place.
and smelled faintly of toner and mint tea. She was in her late 50s.
All right, if everyone
Grey
could just,
hair cut to
review
her
and sign
jaw.
here.
We're ready
Reading
on our
glasses
end.
on a chain. Voice so calm it
Wait.
made you want to sit up straighter.
Before we
I
sign
laid
anything,
the
there are a
photographs
few
across
things
the
we need to
conference
discuss.
table in date order, the same way I would lay a client's books out before a reconciliation. She did not gasp. Professionals rarely do. She made notes, enlarged signatures on her screen, and asked
It's
for
okay,
the original
Miriam.
signature
You're
samples.
safe now. We just
I
want to
had one from
understand
an
what
old property
happened.
tax form before the stroke and a shaky
don't know.
therapy consent form after it.
We analyzed all
She
76
studied
checks.
both,
The
then pulled up the
discrepancies here
forged
are
checks.
significant.
A tremor does not vanish when the check gets larger, she said. This is not Miriam Ward having a good day. This is a steady writer. Pretending at first, then getting lazy. That was the first clean sentence anyone had given me. Then we followed the money. Bellevue Renovations. LLC had been registered
Section
5
4
months
of the
earlier
Cedar Hollow
under
Trust
Derek's name.
confirms the assets are protected
No
for the next
website,
decade.
The forensic
no job
analysis
permits,
is sound.
no
That provides the
insurance
stability
filing
we
that
needed.
Vivian could find. Money moved from my mother's account to the LLC, from the LLC to Derek's personal account, then outward. A truck loan payoff, credit card debt, a boat purchase through a dealer near Lake
Look,
Somna.
if we adjust this entry here,
$58,000 wired
it
to a
all
marina on the
aligns.
Gulf Coast as a
We're back on
deposit on a
track now,
slip in
Miriam.
storage. Several cash withdrawals in amounts just small enough to look like care expenses if nobody was looking closely. This is not an overwhelmed caregiver mixing accounts, Vivian said. This is a pattern. It escalates. And if the house closes, the next deposit will disappear faster than the bank can blink. I asked what stopping it looked like. She leaned back. It looks boring until it doesn't. We preserve the evidence. We notify Adult Protective Services. We prepare a fraud packet for the bank. Miles files a Lee pendants against the property if a closing date appears.
I
And you
understand
remain
this
the
is
helpful
difficult, but the
sister
estate's
until we
funds are
know where the
finite.
table
We have to
is.
be realistic about mother's care.
The table.
You weren't here dealing with it every day.
The place
I
where
understand you're
everyone will be
busy, but
sitting when the
this can't
truth
wait.
arrives.
The settlement
Never
offer
waste a
expires
reveal
on
in a
Friday,
hallway.
and you need to sign the forms.
Elena.
Got her
Put
polished
facts
up just
where
for you, Natalie.
witnesses can
Best
see
truck in the
them.
county.
It's very shiny.
I drove back to Red
We need to
Lantern Road
discuss
that
the
evening
contract
with the
terms when you
paper
have a
bag of
moment.
groceries Natalie had
I
asked
understand
for,
the policy,
and the
but
knowledge
the wire
that the
transfer was
story had
confirmed 3
outgrown
days
the
ago.
family.
I need access to those funds
That was the part
immediately.
my father would not
The
understand.
power of attorney is active as of
He
today.
still thought this
I've
was a
logged the
shame
receipt
to
here.
be managed.
This is completely unnecessary, Elena.
Vivian
I told you I could manage
understood what I
everything.
had finally learned.
I got the groceries, Mother.
When
I
money
made
is
sure to
stolen
get the
from a
organic
vulnerable
milk you like.
person,
So thoughtful.
it is not
We
a family
appreciate it, Elena.
misunderstanding. It is an audit waiting for a venue. Gave my father one chance. Not because he deserved it, but because I needed to know whether there was still a floor under me. Natalie had taken Mom to physical therapy. Derek was out with the new truck. I found Dad in the garage, sorting nails into coffee cans. Always sorting
Look at the
something,
pressure on the downstrokes
always
here
avoiding the
compared
thing
to the
that
exemplar.
actually needed order.
It's clearly a
I
different
set a
hand.
folder on the workbench.
The disparity is clear.
Photocopies
The top
only.
signature exhibits the expected
I had
tremor, while the
learned.
others are smooth and deliberate.
Dad,
These are
you need to
unequivocally
look at this.
forged.
This one here,
He resisted
it's made
at
out to you.
first, then opened it.
Do you recognize the
I
signature
watched his
on
face
it?
change as he saw the checks, the signatures,
Why are you
the
still
amounts,
making her
the
breakfast after
transfers
everything?
to Derek's LLC.
She needs to eat, Natalie. It's already
The
prepared.
garage was cold.
You always
the
do
sweat
this.
rose along his hairline. He
Look, I
picked
told
up
you
the
I'd handle it. She doesn't suspect
$36,000
a thing.
check, the one marked
Just
home
make sure the money is
repair,
cleared by tomorrow,
and his
okay?
hand trembled. For a moment, I thought he would choose cleanly. I saw the truth land.
As you can
I
see in the
saw him
report, the
understand that
transfers
his
occurred
wife had
just
not
prior to the
misplaced
filing.
Yes,
money,
this
had not
confirms the
simply
dissipation
signed
of
too
assets.
much,
We can move forward
had
with the
not
injunction.
consented to being
It's gonna
drained.
be fine, Mom. We've gone
His
over
oldest
everything.
daughter and her
I know,
husband had
Elena,
taken
but I
it.
worry.
Then he squared the pages,
Just try to get some rest.
made the stack neat,
Thank you all for coming
tried to
today.
make the facts smaller by aligning
If we
their
could
edges.
please review the finalized agreement.
Don't make this official, he said. Dad, she's your sister.
If you don't
Your
mind,
mother
I'd
can't
like to
survive
ask everyone
police at
to
the
wait
door.
before
We
proceeding.
handle this inside the family. Inside the
Miss
family
Ward, thank you for
is
seeing
where it
us. I'm
happened.
Detective Brooks.
We have
He
some
looked
questions
away.
regarding the financial reports we
You
received.
don't know what caregiving does to a person. Natalie gave up her life. Mom's money was not a salary Natalie got to decide
It's
on.
okay, Mrs. Ward. We
His
just want to make
jaw
sure you're
worked.
safe and comfortable here.
Please,
Will
Elena,
Elena be
for your
angry
mother's
that I
sake.
spoke with you?
That
The
was
analysis
the cruelest thing
confirms
he
that
could have
these
said,
checks were forged.
because he knew it sounded
The total
noble.
amount exceeds
He
$300,000.
wasn't asking me to protect Mom. He was asking me to protect the quiet version of the house he still wanted to live inside. A version where Natalie was difficult
I
but
understand
devoted.
this is difficult, Natalie, but
Derek
the
was
decision has
unfortunate
been
but
made.
harmless.
We need
And
to
my
respect
mother was
your father's
safe because
wishes.
admitting otherwise would make him the man who watched the theft happen in his own kitchen. I gathered the photocopies. I already tried
As you can
inside
see in
the
Section
family.
4, the trust is structured to
said,
protect the assets immediately.
inside the
yes,
family
the correlating
is where
reports
she
confirm
stole
the
it.
transfers were executed correctly last
That night, I found him at the kitchen table in the dark, holding an old photograph of Mom by the lilacs, taken before either of us was born. He did not hear me in the doorway.
Okay, Elena.
He
this
looked
is
broken.
A fresh
I
start,
understood him
just
for
like we
one
planned.
terrible minute.
See?
He
the
was
deposit
losing
on
the
the
woman he
5th
loved.
covered the withdrawal.
Piece by
Everything
piece.
matches up now, Miriam.
If he
It's okay.
admitted what Natalie had done, he would lose a daughter too. Understanding is not permission. When he saw me, his face hardened. Let it go, he said again. I went upstairs and texted Vivian one word. Proceed. Natalie came for me the next morning before coffee. The martyr costume was gone. She stood in the kitchen doorway with wet hair and a face I had not seen since childhood. The face she made when she broke
These figures
something
don't align
and
with the trust
convinced
agreement,
herself
Natalie.
the broken thing had started
I am doing
it.
the best I can. You know how difficult
Dad
things
told
have been
me what
around
you're
here.
doing, she said. I stirred oatmeal for Mom
I have the update
and said
figures for
nothing.
the settlement, Father. We need to go over them
Sneaking
before the meeting on
around,
Friday.
taking pictures, acting like some saint because you send invoices and wear flats. You have no idea what this house costs me. None.
Ask about the bank statements.
There it was again.
There seems to be a
Cost.
discrepancy here.
Natalie had built an altar to Cost and made herself the priest.
Yes, I have the reference number
Then
right
account
here.
for it, I
Look,
said.
I need access to these
Show
funds
the
today, or my
records.
clients face serious penalties.
She laughed once. You think records tell the whole story? Records don't show me getting up at 3 in the morning when Mom cries. Because she can't get to the bathroom. Records don't show me cleaning her. Records don't show me giving up my marriage, my work, my life. Derek came in behind her, and I noticed he did not correct the part about their marriage being given up. It had been very much present in the truck,
Miriam,
the boat,
these
the LLC,
checks are clearly
and the
forged.
marina wire.
The total comes to
What do you think that care is worth?
$812,600.
Natalie asked. Because
The
nobody else
endorsement
was
on the
paying
back of
me.
check
Nobody else was
4021
here.
doesn't match the payee.
Time equals, quote,
Is the bank aware of this
0.8 seconds,
discrepancy?
quote, slash greater
The
than.
shaky
So
signature
you
on the
paid
left
yourself
is authentic.
$800,000
The
with
smooth,
forged checks?
fluid signatures on the right show clear
Her face
evidence
went
of professional
white,
forgery.
Then red. The silence after that was the answer. Then she said the thing that ended every remaining sisterly
How could you
part
do
of
this
me.
to us, Elena, after everything
That
I've
money
sacrificed?
was going to be ours
I'm doing
anyway
what
when
needs
she
to be
died.
done, Natalie. Now please,
I took
let me
my
finish
wages
Miriam's
early.
breakfast.
The money isn't here
My
yet.
mother was in the
I
next
need you to
room,
wire the rest by midnight,
alive.
or the deal is off.
Listening to game
And keep that
shows
truck out
because
of
game
sight.
shows were safer than us. And my sister had already placed her in the past tense. I looked at Natalie, and I saw the whole architecture
As you
of
can
her
see in the
excuse.
forensic report, the assets were
She had
clearly
suffered.
commingled here.
I see.
So she was owed.
This confirms the grounds for the
She was
list pendants
owed.
filing.
So the
Everything
theft
is
became
arranged for
wages.
tomorrow.
The lie
You don't
had
need to
become
worry
a
about the
room she could
details.
sleep in.
I have the binder right here,
Mom is
and I'll
not
handle
gone.
everything.
I said.
All right, if we can direct your attention
Natalie
to page
stepped
3.
close enough
we
that I
just
could
need
smell the
signatures
mint
here
toothpaste
and
on
here
her breath.
to finalize the closing.
Drop it, Elena, or you're not welcome in this house.
Wait. Before we
That almost
finalize
made me
this,
laugh.
there are a few things we
Not
need
because
to
it was
discuss.
funny, but because it was so perfectly wrong.
Miss Ward, I'm Detective
It was
Brooks.
not her house.
We're here with a representative from
It had
Adult
never
Protective
been her
Services and
house.
these financial reports.
And by
May we
Friday,
speak with you?
If the papers landed the way they should, everyone in it would finally remember that. The closing date arrived by accident,
comfortable and
the way
safe,
truth
Miriam.
sometimes does
It's
when
been
arrogant
difficult,
people
but
talk on the phone near
Elena
cracked
does her
windows.
best.
Derek was on
If
the
you
back
look closely
porch,
at the comparison
voice
pages,
low,
the
thinking
inconsistencies
the
in the
kitchen
signature
fan
loop
covered
and
him.
pressure are evident across
I was
all
wiping the
76
counter.
checks.
He said,
no, the contracts.
just
They're
get the cash
ruined.
deal closed
Goodness.
Friday.
What a disaster.
Once the funds clear,
Is there anything we can
what's
do?
she going to do? Sue family? I kept wiping. Slow circles. Same spot. My whole body had gone still. Friday. 3 days away. A cash buyer. A mobile title agent. Documents signed at the house. Proceeds going into the account Natalie
Welcome to the
controlled.
office. We are meticulously
that,
organized
The
here
money
in
would
Cedar
move
Hollow,
through Bellevue
ready to focus on
renovations,
every detail
through
of your
Derek's
bookkeeping
personal
needs.
account.
See,
Into
the
debts
deposit on
and
the 5th
toys
covered the
and
bills.
whatever Florida
We're
dream
balanced now,
waited at the
Miriam.
marina.
Oh, Elena, thank you.
They were not
I was so
rushing
worried.
because the buyer was convenient. They were rushing because I had started asking questions. I walked to my car, locked the door, and texted Vivian, Friday. She replied in less than a minute. Then Friday is the room. Stay calm. Let us knock. The next 72 hours belonged to professionals. Vivian finalized the forensic summary. 76 checks, signature inconsistency, escalating amounts,
I understand this is
payees,
difficult,
shell
but
company
we have to
flow,
settle this today.
personal benefit. Miles Grant prepared an emergency petition
We need to discuss the
and
trust
a
documents, Thomas.
RLS.
Hiding in here won't make this go
Pendants
away.
against the farmhouse. A notice filed
I
in
need to
county
ask about the
records
bank
that would make
statements.
any title company
These
stop the
figures aren't
closing
adding up.
immediately. Adult Protective Services received
I have the reference
exploitation
number.
report.
The issue
The
is the
bank's
hold
fraud
placed on the
unit
transfer
received the
despite
check
the clearance.
packet. A sheriff's
This confirms
detective
you
was
received the
looped
notice
in
regarding
because
the power of
forgery
attorney.
and
I'm filing it
exploitation are
now.
not family moves.
You had no right to do
They
this,
are
Elena.
crimes.
I have everything
Miles
on the
explained
list.
the timing to
Good.
me. If we file too
Mother
early, they
needs her medicine
postpone,
on schedule,
regroup,
you know?
and maybe move Mom. If we file too late, the closing creates chaos. Friday morning, before signatures, with everyone present. There it was again. Venue. All week. Natalie moved through the house with a terrible brightness. She cleaned the baseboards for the buyers. She set out Mom's blue cardigan, like costume design.
This is
Derek
the real
polished the truck.
post-stroke signature.
Dad disappeared
And these
into
are
the
the
garage.
forgeries. The
Mom
difference in the
watched all of
fluidity
it with
the
a
stroke
silence
is
that
undeniable.
hurt more than words.
These are the photocopies I
On
found,
Thursday
Dad.
night, after
I need you
Natalie
to
and
tell me
Derek
what
went
this
out
is
to pick up
about.
paperwork, I made decaf for Mom in her Bluebird
You think oatmeal
mug.
and a binder are going to fix this? You
We
have
sat
no
at the
idea
kitchen
what we've been
table
through.
under the
I am
light
trying
where
to
she
provide
used to balance her
consistency.
checkbook.
The documents are clear
Her
about
good
the
hand
ownership.
covered mine.
It's handled. Elena doesn't
House.
suspect a thing.
She said slowly.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Promise. I knew what she meant. The porch, the peas, the vow. I'm keeping a different promise now, I told her. I'm keeping you safe. The rest comes after. She searched my face for the lie. She did not find one.
I know this
Friday
is
morning
hard,
came
Mom,
cold
but
and bright.
the closing is tomorrow.
By 10
We
o'clock,
have to be ready.
the living room looked like a staged
I believe we
version
have
of
reviewed all the
itself.
necessary paperwork. Let's
The
proceed
title
with the
agent
closing
had set
as
up at the
agreed.
dining table with a notary stamp, a stack of documents,
I
and the bright,
apologize, but I
helpless
must ask
smile
everyone
of
to
a
wait.
woman who
There are
believed
still
this was a
outstanding
simple
issues in
cash
this
sale.
binder.
The buyers
Ward,
were
thank
a
you for
couple
seeing
from
us.
the city, polite
Detective,
and eager,
please come in.
asking about the furnace and the lilacs. Derek stood by the window like a man supervising land he had never owned. Natalie wore a cream sweater and poured
Miriam,
coffee from
it's
Mum's
all
good
right.
carafe.
We just want to make sure you're
Radiant with
safe and
nearness.
comfortable here. I am
My
comfortable.
mother sat in her wheelchair by the
mostly.
cold fireplace.
As you can see, the
Positioned like
signatures on these
furniture being
76
included
checks
in
do
the
not
sale.
match the authorized signatories.
My father sat beside
76
her.
checks. How is
grey
that possible?
and silent. I sat in the corner with a leather binder on my lap, empty on top, full underneath. The title agent cleared her throat. If everyone is ready, we'll begin with the seller disclosures. Natalie reached for the pen. I looked at the clock on the mantel. 3:09. 3 minutes
With
after
these
the Ellis
protections in
pendants
place,
had been
the chaos
filed.
ends today.
Somewhere in the
The
county
forensic
system,
report confirms the
a
steps we
legal
need to
notice
take
now
next.
sat against the farmhouse on Red Lantern Road. Before anyone signs, I said, someone else should be here for this.
As you can see, the new space is coming
Natalie's
together.
smile tightened.
The Cedar Hollow files are
Elena,
secure, and we are ready to begin
don't.
processing this week's invoices.
We talked about this.
Okay, so this receipt here is the
No,
one we discussed.
we didn't.
Yes, I noted
You
that
talked
adjustment.
around me.
It balances
I'm asking
now.
everyone to wait 1 minute. Derek pushed off the window. There's nothing to wait for. 1 minute, I said. The room changed. Not visibly at first. A small unease moved through the buyers. The title agent glanced at her phone. My father closed. His eyes. Natalie stared at me, calculating. She had planned for tears, guilt, anger, a last-minute scene. She had not planned for calm. Nobody's coming, she said. You always do this. You make things dramatic because you can't stand not being needed. The old sentence reached for me.
I know you're busy,
old hook.
but I've brought the paperwork
I let it
regarding the
fall.
house. We need to discuss
3 knocks
this now.
sounded at the front door. Slow, deliberate, loud enough to stop breath. I stood, opened it.
I understand the procedure,
Vivian Cole
but the
stood on
account has been
porch
frozen for 3
in a
days
charcoal
now.
coat with her forensic
We filed the
file under
paperwork
one
last
arm.
week.
Beside her was Annika Shaw from Adult Protective Services, county badge visible on a blue lanyard, and Detective Nolan Brooks from the sheriff's office, hat in his hand because he had enough manners to enter an old woman's home properly. Good morning, Vivian said to the room. I'm here regarding the finances of Miriam Ward. She walked in like facts do,
The
without asking
inconsistencies are
permission from the
clustered
people
right here.
who prefer
See how
confusion.
the do loops differently across these 3 checks?
Yes.
The title
and the
agent's
corresponding
hand went
withdrawals
flat
happened
over
just
the
before the
documents. The buyers stood up. Derek said something about private property, and Detective Brooks answered in a voice so mild it
Based on
frightened
these
me more than
documents,
shouting
the trust
would have.
is fully established.
No one is under
The forensic
arrest at this
review
moment,
confirms the protection
sir,
measures are
but
completely
this
in
closing
place.
is not proceeding today. The title agent was already checking the county portal. Her face changed when she saw the filing.
Everything is
There's a
accounted for,
notice on the
Miriam.
property,
It's balanced.
she said.
We
I
can
can't
manage this
notarize a
together.
transfer with this pending. Natalie set the coffee carafe down too hard. It cracked against the table edge, and coffee spilled across the disclosure packet in a dark stain that crawled toward the signature lines. Nobody moved to clean it. Vivian opened her folder. The first page was the signature comparison. Enlarged. Miriam Ward before the stroke. Miriam Ward after the stroke. Then the 76 checks. Smooth
These
and
documents
confident.
confirm what I suspected
The
about the
same
inheritance.
false hand
Elena,
wearing
this
my
really
mother's
isn't the
name like a
time.
stolen
It is exactly
coat.
the time. We need to discuss the farm's
These are
finances.
private records,
Dad,
Natalie
we need
said.
to talk about the house.
They are
I know you don't want to
evidence.
look at this right now, but
Vivian
the longer we
answered.
wait, the harder it gets.
Annika Shaw crossed to my mother's chair and crouched so they were eye level, not over her, not around her, to her.
I appreciate your
Mrs.
help, but escalating
Ward,
this is essential. The funds were
my
guaranteed yesterday.
name
Can I
is
speak to a
Annika.
supervisor, please?
I'm here to speak with you about your money
All of
and your
Mother's
home.
accounting is secured.
You can
we have
answer
the
in any
signed
way
power
you
of
are
attorney
able.
and the return receipt.
We will
Are you
take our
satisfied
time.
now, Elena? You have control over
My mother
everything.
looked at her, then at me, and the relief in her face nearly broke me. Derek started raising his voice. Something about caregiver reimbursement. Something about family agreements. Something about how Natalie deserved compensation. Detective Brooks asked him to step onto the porch, and when Derek refused, Brooks did not
The
repeat
total
himself
comes
loudly.
to $812,600.
He simply waited. Some authority
Can you
is
explain
quiet
this,
enough to make a
Mother?
room obey.
These signatures on the Q3
Then my father
disbursements appear
stood.
inconsistent with the authorized
one
signatories.
breath.
I agree. The amounts
I
are
feared he
significant.
was going to beg
we need
again
to trace these further.
to
the
ask
tremor is
them not to make
absent
it
in these later
official,
documents. It's
to
a
choose
professional
peace over my
forgery,
mother one
expertly
final
done, but
time.
clearly not your mother's hand. So there is no
Instead,
doubt.
he walked to the table and picked up the enlarged signature page. He stared at the false Miriam Ward. Then he turned toward
I
Natalie.
can't believe you're just standing there making
Did you
oatmeal while
sign her
everything
name?
falls apart. How can you be so calm?
Natalie's mouth
Natalie,
opened.
please, we discussed
No
this.
martyr
The children
speech
need
came
to
out.
eat.
Just stay calm.
Tom, she whispered.
I told her it was a late delivery.
You
She
don't
doesn't suspect
understand
anything
what I
about the
gave
truck.
up.
I'll call you back when
My
I'm clear.
father looked at my mother in the wheelchair by the
This
cold
binder
hearth,
contains the settlement
watching
offer.
him with a face
You need
he
to
had
look at it
avoided
before
for
Wednesday.
7 months. Then he walked to her and put one hand on her shoulder. So is she, he said. It was not an apology. Not yet. But it was a sigh. And in that room, that was a beginning.
Yes,
The
I have the
closing
reference number right
died there.
here. Look, I understand the
The
policy,
buyers
but these
gathered
are
their
client
folder
funds.
and
I
left
need to know
as gently
exactly
as
why the
people
clearance
can
is
leave
being
a
held
house
up.
where the truth
The power of
has
attorney
just
is
broken
officially filed.
furniture without touching it.
You didn't have to do this,
The
Elena.
title
Mom is
agent packed her
fine.
notary stamp away. Derek went to the porch with Detective Brooks and came back with less colour in his face. Natalie sat at the dining table with the cracked carafe and stared at the coffee spreading through the papers she had expected to sign.
I've sorted them by
Vivian
date.
laid out the flow of money.
That brings the total
Not
to
dramatically,
$812,600 exactly.
Cleanly. The land sale
Look at the
savings had been
inconsistency in
moved
the
from
S
Mom's
here.
protected account into the
We
joint
cross-referenced
checking
that
in
with the
chunks.
Q3 reports. The figures
Checks
don't
went out to
reconcile.
Cash,
As you can
Derek,
see here, the
to
pressure
Bellevue
and flow of these
Renovations,
signatures are
LLC.
smooth, inconsistent with
Bellevue
the
paid
documented
Derek's
tremor in
debts,
Mrs. Ward's hand.
The truck, credit cards, a boat, and the marina wire. The amounts escalated after July. The sale contract appeared
You
after the
can't just
largest
waltz
transfers.
back in here and pretend like nothing happened,
pattern
Elena.
was
The
visible
farm is
enough that even the
struggling. I am
title
aware
agent,
of the situation,
who
Natalie. Starving
had no
yourself
stake
won't
in the
help
family,
Miriam.
looked sick.
I told you, the truck is fine.
Annika asked Mom
Just
whether
keep
she
her
wanted the
calm,
house
okay?
sold.
I can't do this
My
right now.
mother's
She's
answer
watching
took
me.
time. Everyone waited because, for once, the room respected the delay. Her no arrived broken, but whole,
Here are the finalized
No.
reports and the supporting documentation
word.
you requested.
and the whole
Thank you,
construction
Vivian.
fell.
The annotations appear
Natalie
thorough.
tried, then.
I've got you. We'll get
Tears
through this
first.
together, just like we
The
planned.
speech about sacrifice, the nights,
It's just the next step.
the lifting,
Do we
the
really have to
exhaustion.
do this right now?
how no one
It's already been
understands
postponed
what
twice, Natalie.
caregiving takes.
The agent is ready.
I understood some of it. I still do. But Vivian's
Excuse me,
file lay
but I
open
must
on the
ask
table.
that we wait before
and
signing
exhaustion
anything.
did not explain a marina deposit
Miss
in
Ward?
Florida. Then came anger.
I'm Detective Brooks. This
Natalie
is Miss
accused
Cole and
me
Miss
of waiting
Shaw.
to trap her.
May we come in
of
for a
choosing
moment?
outsiders over blood.
All right, if
of
everyone
hating
could just
her
sign
since
right here, we
childhood.
can finalize the
Maybe
transfer.
some of that was easier for her to believe than the actual truth. That she had taken a
We just
pen
want
to
to
our
make sure
mother's
you're
name and
comfortable
called
and
it
safe
wages.
here, Miriam. It is difficult.
I did not
but
argue.
Elena
I had
takes
learned
good
from the
care of
checks.
me.
The ink was already
We
dry.
analyzed all 76
There was no need
checks.
to add more.
The signatures here are
Detective Brooks
inconsistent
took
with the known
statements.
examples we
Annika
have on
documented
file.
Mom's capacity and fear. Miles arrived with the filed notice and the emergency petition. By late afternoon, the farmhouse was off the market, the sale blocked, and the documents that had locked me out in April were being reviewed by people who read them for teeth. When the last official car left, the house was not healed. It was quieter than
As you can
healed.
see in Section
It was
4 of the
stunned.
Cedar Hollow Trust, the
My father
assets
stood
are
in the
fully
kitchen
protected.
doorway.
This structure
I
minimizes
should have
the
listened.
liabilities
He said,
effectively.
I wanted to say yes. I wanted to say many things. Instead, I said, "Start now." He nodded. That was the first honest thing between us in months.
It balances now,
Here is
Miriam.
how it
Everything
landed,
is accounted
because stories
for.
like this should not end with the knock and pretend the
Thank you.
cleanup is simple. It is not simple.
It should
is
do well
slow.
right here by
it
the
is
fence.
paperwork.
It's lovely, Elena.
It is grief with deadlines. Natalie's power of attorney was
It's
suspended
okay, Miriam.
first,
We just want to make
then
sure you're
revoked.
safe and comfortable
A temporary
here. You don't
protective
have to
order
worry.
froze the remaining
Thank you.
accounts. The bank recovered only
As you
part
can
of the
see,
money.
the signatures on
the
these
part
76
close
checks
enough
are
in time and
inconsistent with the
careless enough en
exemplar.
route
I
to
don't
claw
understand.
back.
This is
The
completely
rest
unacceptable.
became a restitution order that will follow Natalie and Derek for years. The truck was repossessed. The boat was sold under pressure. The marina deposit became a line in a legal file, not a vacation. The prosecutor took the forgery and exploitation case. I do not narrate that part with pleasure. My sister committed crimes. but she is still
As
my
Vivian's
sister.
analysis shows,
Those two
the
facts
Cedar
can
Hollow
stand
Trust
together
is now
without
structured
cancelling
for
each other.
long-term stability and
She
protection.
told herself she had earned the money. The court was less interested in her story than in the signatures. The farmhouse went into the Cedar Hollow Protection Trust, built for one purpose: to keep Miriam Ward housed,
The deposit posted
cared
today.
for,
It
and
balances
protected from
perfectly.
anyone who confused
Oh, that
access
is a
with ownership.
relief.
No sale without 2 independent signatures. No transfer without professional review. Monthly statements mailed to a post office box I control with my father's knowledge and my mother's consent. Every bill recorded. Every caregiver paid properly. No hidden wages. No martyr accounting. I moved my practice. Not completely. At first, I kept clients I could serve remotely and let others go with more sadness than I
We
expected.
need to finalize the arrangements for the
I
house,
rented a
Natalie.
small office above
Always
the
so
pharmacy in
formal.
Cedar Hollow.
Can't you just stay
10
for tea
minutes from
first?
Red Lantern Road, twice a week.
We can't keep ignoring
I
this,
work
Dad.
at my desk, 3 days a
I
week.
brought the paperwork regarding
I
the
work from
settlement.
my mother's kitchen table while she does speech exercises across from me. Dad and I are careful. 2 people rebuilding a bridge while standing on the pieces. He has apologized in small ways because large apologies are too frightening for him. He brings me coffee without asking.
Yes,
He
I have
reads
the reference
statements
number
aloud
right
to
here.
Mom slowly.
The issue
He
is
does
on
not
your
say-
end, not ours.
She's family anymore, as if
I
that
filed the
settles
return
anything.
receipt along with the power of attorney.
Natalie and I do not speak.
All of Mom's accounting will be managed
Maybe
here, Natalie.
someday. Maybe not. Some doors stay closed because opening them would let the weather back in. Mom is learning to sign her name again. Her real name. It is slow and uneven and beautiful. Every Sunday night, we sit at the kitchen table with the blue spiral notebook she used before the stroke. I write the amounts. She checks the
Look
column
closely
with
at
her
the
good
S
hand.
here. It's inconsistent
Money
with the
does not
samples we have
disappear.
on file.
People
So the
just
funds
stop
were diverted
asking where it
before the
went.
merger.
We ask
These
now.
signatures were clearly traced or
There is one more
digitally
thing
replicated.
I want to tell you.
As you can see,
The house
the tremor
did
is
stay
completely
in the family,
absent
but
here.
not in the way my mother meant when we shelled peas on the porch. For a while, I thought the promise was about wood and windows, lilacs and old
You
siding.
think that binder gives you control over
porch my
everything?
grandfather built.
It gives us a plan,
the kitchen
Natalie.
table with the worn
Now please,
place
calm
where Mom
down
kept
before
her
you upset
checkbook.
Miriam.
I was wrong. Or
Look,
maybe
I told
was
you I'd
only
handle
young.
it. She doesn't suspect a
A
thing.
house
Just keep your mouth
stays
shut.
in the family when the person inside it is protected. It stays when a stroke does not turn a mother into a bank account. It stays when a daughter's exhaustion is paid honestly instead of stolen secretly. It stays when a father chooses the wife
It's
in the
all right, Mom.
wheelchair over the daughter
The closing is
with
set
the
for
easier
tomorrow, and
story.
I promise you,
It
everything
stays when
is going to
someone
be fine.
refuses to call a crime
The
a
terms are
family
clearly
matter
outlined in the binder,
just because
Natalie.
the criminal
We
knows
understand
where
the
the
terms,
coffee
Elena.
mugs are kept.
We just find the timing difficult.
I still drive past the spot where the for sale sign stood.
If you don't mind,
grass
I'd like
grew
everyone
back.
to wait a moment before signing.
You would never know a sign had been hammered there, except that I know.
Miss Ward, I'm Anika Shaw.
I remember the way
We're
the metal
following
post
up on the
leaned in
Adult
the wind
Protective
and the way my
Services
stomach
report.
dropped before my
And we have
mind
some
caught
questions
up.
regarding these financial records,
I
ma'am.
remember saying okay to Natalie in the kitchen. I remember counting because counting has always been how I survive. People ask
We're
whether
gonna
I
take
regret
this
calling
slowly,
Vivian,
Miriam.
filing the petition,
Elena
bringing
and I are here
APS
to
and a
support
detective
you
into
through
my
this
mother's living
process.
room. They ask softly.
If you look closely at
Like
the comparison
maybe I will
pages,
admit that
the
public
slant
truth
and
was
pressure
too
points indicate a
expensive.
clear divergence
No.
from the known samples.
I regret the months I spent being reasonable. I regret believing that gratitude was evidence. I regret letting a bank tell me I was a stranger and then agreeing with it in my own heart for 6 weeks. But I do not regret the knock. The knock saved my mother's house. More than that, it saved her. No. It gave
We've
it
reviewed the
witnesses.
financials, and Vivian's
gave it a
analysis
room.
confirms the trust is secure.
If there is anything
Miles,
I want you to
this
take
structure
from Red
provides the
Lantern
protection
Road,
we discussed.
it is this. Loving your family does not mean protecting the lie that is hurting one of them. Sometimes the most loyal thing you can do is bring the ledger into the light. That is my story. 7 months of trust. 76 checks. $812,600. One for sale sign nobody thought to
It's
mention.
okay, Miriam.
And
You're safe
one
now.
audit that
We
walked
just
through
want
the
to
front
understand
door
what
right
happened.
before the pen touched the paper.
I don't know.
If this reminded you to
analyzed
check
all
who has
76
access to the
checks.
accounts of
The
someone you love,
discrepancies here are
do
significant.
it this week. Not after the holidays. Not when things calm down. This week, share this with someone who needs the courage to ask for one statement. Drop a comment, hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. There is a special loneliness in being the person who sees the arithmetic before anyone wants the answer. You sit there with a total in
Section
your
4 of
head,
the Cedar Hollow Trust
knowing
confirms
the
the
room
assets
will
are
not thank
protected
you
for
for
the next
adding
decade.
it.
The forensic
They
analysis
will call
is
you
sound.
dramatic.
That provides the stability
suspicious,
we needed.
Ungrateful, cold. They will say you are making the sick person worse. They will say peace matters more than numbers. But if numbers are where the harm is hiding, peace is just a curtain over the theft. I also want to be fair in the only way fairness
Look,
still
if we
matters
adjust
here.
this entry here,
Caregiving is
it all
brutal.
aligns.
It is
We're
intimate
back on
labor,
track now, Miriam.
underpaid and underestimated. And families often pretend love is a substitute for structure. If Natalie had asked to be paid, I would have helped build a plan. We could have hired respite care. We could have documented wages. We could have made something honest. Theft was not the price of caregiving. Theft was the story she chose after deciding nobody would check.